good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, good day from Japan, eastern Hiroshima, northeastern Hiroshima city, if you will. This is Geaux Stros coming at you live from the far distant land of Japan. That is right. I am broadcasting live from Japan. Today, Game 3 versus the Mariners. Astros looking, if at all possible, to bounce back from yesterday's disappointing close loss. Nikapoo, is that right? Nikapoo? Hi to you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining. Game is going to be started in just a few moments. Right now, they're still showing some commercials and stuff and doing a little bit of interviews. They just talked with Mauricio Dubon in a moment. As you can see, they've essentially cleared the field. I believe they just finished the opening pitch. And in just a moment, maybe just 2 minutes or so, we'll have the first pitch. Framber Valdez is taking the mound today for the Astros. He'll be facing J.P. Crawford, Cal Raleigh, and Julio Rodriguez to get this started. Looking forward to a really, really good day for Framber because the Astros need it in a severe way. This series has been so lopsided for Astros hitting. They went kind of crazy, gangbusters, if you will, in Game 1. And then just got shut down. They started off okay. They had the 2-run homer. They had another run tacked on with a sacrifice fly by Christian Walker, of all batters, the coldest batter on the entire Astros lineup. But that's all they could muster was 3 runs. And then Abreu had a breakdown and gave the game away. So they wound up losing 5-3 yesterday. Disappointing Game 2 loss. But hopefully Astros... Nikapoo said it. Astros game was depressing last night. That's right. A difficult game to watch when it's so close like that, and they don't need too much. They don't need too much. And then like one of the best things about the Astros, the pitching, especially the relief pitching, has a breakdown like Abreu did, and then they lose the game. That's difficult to watch. Daniel Berry Sports. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for the happy Saturday, but here in Japan it is Sunday. 5:09 in the morning here. There's old Framber looking all serious and stuff. Getting some advertisements on the screen right now. It's great to see that the Texas government is spending money on reminding people that they're going to get a ticket if they don't buckle up. It's always nice to see them spending the taxpayers' money that they collect from giving out tickets to advertise about giving out tickets. Doesn't that seem like a huge misappropriation of funds? That's my personal take. It's not even a hot take. It's silly when you think about it. Government gets money from collecting taxes and collecting fines. Some of that coming off giving out tickets because people aren't putting their seatbelts on. They take that money and put it into advertising in a baseball game, letting people know either you buckle up or we're going to give you a ticket. We're going to give you more tickets. Government is so awesome. Ridiculous. Some of these things I've thought about a lot more since I've been outside of America. Literally the only time I see TV commercials, U.S. TV commercials, is when I watch these games, when I do the live streams, because otherwise I don't watch any media. that would show TV commercials. If you're wondering about things like Netflix and all of that, I don't have any of those at all. I don't spend any time doing those things. Crawford comes to the plate. Looks like DeCenzo is in left field. Myers is in center, and Cam Smith in right. Altuve will be on second. We'll do Bond at third. I guess they're giving Paredes a break. And Caratini behind the plate. It's an interesting lineup. An arrangement of players on the field. Don't often see Dubon at third. I hope that works out all right. Here's the first pitch of the game. Tapper to Altuve. He gets it up no problem and lobs it over to first base. There you go. That's a great start for Fromber. A little tap, tap, tappy. One away. One swing. One pitch. One out. How awesome would it be for Fromber to get 3 outs with 3 pitches? 3 tappers to Altuve, 3 outs. That brings up Cal Raleigh. He's at the plate. Here comes the toss from Fromber. Right in the middle, 96-mile-per-hour sinker. Fouled back for strike one. There goes my hope for a 3-pitch inning. 0-1 is the count, and more importantly than that, I am pouring myself a cup of coffee. You guys can't see it, but trust me, it is there, my friends. You can smell it, maybe. Here's the pitch. A little in the dirt. They petition first base, but they say, nah. Nah, he didn't go. Nickapoo, bro, it's 3:10 and Saturday here. When did you wake up then? Like an hour ago? I got up about 45 minutes ago. I think 30 minutes is kind of the minimal time I need to get up before the game just to kind of wake up a little. That ball is low for ball 2. 80-mile-per-hour curveball missing the mark. Not unlike how I've missed the mark with my daughter. She won't talk to me. Here comes a pitch. That's hit high in the air all the way out. Almost to the warning track in center field, but Myers has plenty of time to get underneath it. Don't see that too often. Somebody gets so far underneath the ball on Fromber. 2 away. Two outs. Julio Rodriguez comes to the plate. The next victim at the dish. He shows bunt. Goes down the third baseline, but that's foul. That was more like a swing than a bunt, and it was hit so hard. Doesn't it look weird to see Dubon over on third? It's pretty interesting. They said that Dubon has actually played 7 different positions. I guess pitcher and catcher are the only other ones he hasn't played. Swing and a miss. Nice curve ball. 81 miles an hour. The bottom fell out. 0-2. Look at that. Julio takes a breakio. Man, this is not fun. 0-2. What am I thinking, man? You said 3:10. Are you talking about? I guess you're talking about in the afternoon. That ball was in the dirt. Got away from Caratini. He jogs out to pick it up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When is this first cup of coffee going to be ready? I seriously do prefer to get a coffee machine to brew coffee while I'm doing these games. It's so much easier to just turn it on and it's finished, you know, and then I just grab it and drink it. Here's a 1-2. Just barely misses on that low inside corner. 2-2. It was close. Less than 2 inches out of that corner. Here comes the 2-2. Get him. Ooh, 2 inches below the zone, maybe. Maybe. Full count. So Fromberg gets the first two guys really quickly, and now he's playing around. What are you doing playing around, my friend? What are you doing playing around? Well, there we go. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Caratini goes to first and gets him. So there's a strikeout. And the third out. We go to the next inning. Astros, Mariners 0-0. I don't know. This my avatar is going crazy. He won't open his eyes. I think it's because I'm wearing glasses. It's not easy. Maybe if I put the light on me, it'll be a little easier to see. It's difficult for the camera. I'm using my laptop camera right now. It's difficult for the camera to see that I have my eyes open because I have these glasses on. So it looks like I'm just sitting here with my eyes closed or I'm sleepy or something. But trust me, my eyes are open. I would not be able to tell you what's going on if I didn't have my eyes open. Yeah. Nick says afternoon. Yep. Got about 5 people following along right now. Thanks for being here. Make sure to like the live stream as quickly as you can. It looks like you guys have already. There are 6 likes on the channel. Well, technically there are 5. One of the likes is mine. YouTube doesn't accept a like from the creator, the host of the channel. That's not fair. I mean, come on. I don't count. My like doesn't count. Bottom of the first. Let's see what the Astros lineup looks like today. Jeremy Pena is strolling to the plate as we speak. He will be the leadoff as usual these days. Okay, Paredes is DHing. He's batting second, so he's just getting a break from playing in the field. Brian Wu is on the mound for the Mariners. First pitch is on the way. Right in the bottom of the zone, 92 miles an hour. Strike one. Here's the next pitch. Too far inside. Another 93 mile per hour toss. Almost the same speed there. 1-1. Here comes the next pitch. A little outside. So first pitch strike. A little too far inside. A little too far outside. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 toss to Pena. And he goes after that one, hits it into right field. It's going to sail way off into the crowd. Pretty decent opposite field distance there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wu's next pitch is on the way. Way up high and inside. Backs him out just a little bit. So Wu starts off with a full count. Fromber ended on a full count. Pena takes a timeout for a moment. Now he's back in the box and ready to go. No hit so far this game for anybody. Astros trying to get that first hit on the board in this bottom of the first. Here's a 3-2 toss from Wu. Got to swing at that. Pena's shaking his head. Got nobody to be upset with but yourself. That ball was on the outside lower corner. Pena strikes out looking. You know what they say, when it's close, you got to swing. You can't let stuff like that go. Can't let stuff like that go. That brings up Isaac Perez, the DH today. First toss is just a little outside. Good take there. 1-0 is the count. My coffee is ready. Happy about that. Here comes the 1-0. Right in there, 94 miles an hour. Couldn't have been much more perfecter. Couldn't have been much more perfecter than that, Mr. Paredes. 1-1 is the count. Woo's next pitch will be delayed a moment as Paredes steps out of the box. Decides to take a short little break. A mini siesta, if you will. Mini siesta. And of course, I spilled a little bit of my coffee grounds on the table. I have to clean that up in a moment. Back to the game. Here's a pitch. That's hit really hard all the way out of the wall, right off the top of the wall. Is he going to be stopped at first? Yeah, he hit that so hard. He hit that so hard. A line drive smash almost to the Crawford boxes. Right off the top of the wall, just a few feet below. So close. Look at this. Man, that's awesome. One hit. The Astros the first to get a hit on the board, and that brings up my hero, Jose Altuve. First toss. Chopped over to the third baseman. He's trying to get to second. Does he get there? They say they got him at second. Fielder's choice. Man. If that had been Pena on first base. The ball just getting there barely before Paredes. If that had been Pena, it'd have been safe for sure. Or Myers even. 2 away. Runner on first. And that would be Altuve with the chopper. Christian Walker comes to the plate. High and inside. Ball 1. 91 mile per hour brush back. Man, I really want to see Walker get some more hits. Man, he's still batting under 200. He just can't get it going. If he can't get it going like in the next week, I think we need to get rid of him. It's above the zone. Walker has been given better treatment than Jose Abreu. I know he's good on defense, but man, batting under 200 the whole season so far, that's crazy. Next pitch right in the bottom of the zone, 93 miles an hour, strike 1. 2-1. Abel Rodriguez says, let's go Stros. Heck yes, let's go Stros. Let's go, go, go. Put some runs on the board. Here comes the 2-1 toss. Walker swings and fouls that one off. A 93 mile an hour fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can I reach my paper towels? Yes, I can. Victory. Here's the pitch. Little high and outside. Full count. 4-seam fastball missing the mark. As I clean up my mini mess on the desk. Here comes the full count pitch to Walker with 2 outs. Altuve on first. Little tapper to the left side of the pitcher. He gets the throw to first and it goes way out into right field. Altuve is over to third. Is he going to come home? Yes, they're going to wave him home. Does he make it? Yes, he does. He's in there. Altuve all the way from first on the wild throw from the pitcher. And he slides in there head first to take the lead. on a pretty ridiculous infield hit by Christian Walker. Just tapped it to the left side of the pitcher in a wild throw. Look at this. Pitcher grabs it, and he makes a wild throw way off the mark. No way for the first baseman to get that one. They just keep waving and waving and waving, and Altuve comes in headfirst just in time. Look at that. Look at that. Great slide. Great play. Look at Altuve there. Heck yes. My hero scores the first run, and the Batman comes to the plate with a runner in scoring position. He goes to the right side. It's going to get through. Walker is over to third. Are they going to wave him in? Yes, they are. 2-0 Astros in the first inning. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Once again, the 2-out Astros rally. Astros get 2 outs and then start putting runners on the board. That ball right off the second baseman, a one-hopper, and he just couldn't handle it. And Walker scored easily, standing up. 2-0 Stros. Wow. Jake Myers, Mr. Baseball at the plate. Is he going to do something crazy right here? Caratini on first base with 2 outs. Will the rally continue? 45% of the Astros runs have been scored with 2 outs. Can you believe that? Myers hits another one up the middle, right over the second baseman's head. We have runners on second and first. Another runner in scoring position. Look at this. Opposite field, kind of. Just over the head of the second baseman. He jumped up there, just couldn't quite get it. How do you like that? Cam Smith comes to the plate now, the 7th batter this inning. He wants to crank it up, I'm sure. Crank it up, Mr. Cam. Let's keep piling them on, man. Pile them on early. Yes, says Abel. I agree. Caesar says, I can't believe it. Neither can I, but I'm loving it. Just like McDonald's. Maybe not like McDonald's. Maybe it's different than McDonald's, but still loving it. Here's the first pitch to Smith. Smith goes up the middle, but that's going to be actually caught by the second baseman. No error this time. Okay, so the Astros pushed their luck. They're like, hey, if this guy is committing errors, why don't we try hitting it to him again? And it doesn't work out. 3 hits for the Astros in the first inning, and they convert 2 runs off of that. That's a good ratio right there. And the Astros, man. You know, so we just saw something very important, guys. Check this out. Here's an observation for you. The Astros have been scoring a ton of runs with 2 outs, okay? Almost half of all their runs are scored with 2 outs. So they are a 2-out run, or 2-out run scoring team. Okay? Now, here's the other thing. The Astros have been the second worst in the entire MLB at scoring runs in the first inning. So, today was a good example of, okay, they got 2 outs in the first inning. Now, which juju, if you will, is stronger on the Astros team? Which juju will win? Either their first inning can't score runs juju, or their we've got 2 outs, it's time to rally juju. Today, it's the latter. 2-0 Astros in the first inning. Can't believe it. And with Fromber on the mound, I'm feeling pretty happy about that. But this game better not end with the Astros only having 2 runs on the board. It better not end that way. I can't take another game like yesterday. Anyway, 10 people watching the live stream right now. Thank you so much for being here. 12 likes already in the first inning. That's great. Help me get up to 20 and then to 30. 30 is my ultimate goal for this live stream. 20 is my minimal. 30 is my major preference. And if the channel, if the live stream rather gets busy today, getting 40 would be awesome. Alrighty, Randy Arozarena rolls to the plate to face Fromber here in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. Little inside, bounces off of Caratini's glove as he tries to frame it. Ball one. Remember to drop some comments in the live chat if you have something interesting to add. Would love to hear from you, and it helps out with the algorithm. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Ooh, just barely misses the outside edge. Nice movement on that pitch. 2-0. They're showing a comparison of Darth Vader and Framber Valdez for some reason. Here comes the next pitch, right in the bottom of the zone for strike one. Nice change up. 2 balls and 1 strike on Arozarena. Here comes the 2-1 toss. Right in the bottom of the zone again. Actually, a couple inches below, but fouled away. 2-2. Two errors on the Mariners in the first inning. Thank you very much. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's hit to left center field really hard, all the way out to the wall. Myers with the over-the-head catch, can't make it. Dubon grabs it. Arozarena is going to go for 3. DeCenzo is out there, not Dubon. I was thinking Dubon. But Arozarena with a triple. A leadoff triple. His first of the season. Man, Myers made a big effort to get to that ball, but just couldn't get there. So close. Almost got it. Look how close. Right there. Right over his glove. Man. That was a long run. Here's the first pitch to Mitch Garver. Low and inside for ball one. Nobody out. Arozarena on third. 1 ball, no strikes. Man, that was disappointing. Here comes a 1-0 pitch from Fromber. A little low. 79-mile-per-hour curveball. 2-0 is the count. Mariners with 1 hit now. Big one. Almost an inside the park if DeCenzo hadn't been there to back him up. Man, that pitch misses low. 3-0. 3 straight balls after the triple. Fromber shaking up a little bit. Missing the strike zone. 20th pitch of the game coming up for Fromber in just a moment. Here's the 3-0. Garver swings at that one. Dubon was going to go home, but Arozarena was already well on the way, so the Mariners score. Ground out by Garver. I almost said Gardner. So they give up a run. Had enough time to go home, but they were playing back. They weren't playing in. Mariners could have bunted that ball and scored the run. I don't know why they didn't try. Astros were playing so far back, there was no chance to throw him out. Dylan Moore is at the plate now. That first pitch in the lower outer corner of the zone for strike one. 0-1 is the count. No runners on base now. Here's the pitch. Woo, just barely missed low. Man, that was on the line. Should have been a strike. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the 1-1. Another grounder to Pena. Pena over to Walker. 2 away. Last 2 batters have looked more Fromber style. Ground out, ground out. Astros do give up a run in the second, but so far still have the lead. A one-run lead is not good enough, though. The Astros need to put at least a few more on the board. I'm not satisfied with the Astros batting unless they get at least 5 runs. 5 runs is the minimal. Here's the next pitch in the dirt. Now, the Astros could get 4 runs and win, but the thing is, 4 is the league average. And they need to be playing better than average if they expect to get into the playoffs and have a chance to make a run. Here comes the next pitch. Solano takes that one. Low and inside, ball 2. Will By says, I'd wager that the Astros have had or have been close to the most two-out runs in most of the last decade. It's kind of odd, to be honest. Yeah, they have been, haven't they? They've been a really good 2-out team. Third pitch right on the zone. You see that on the screen there. Another pitch that was in the corner of the zone called a ball. There have been 2 pitches by Valdez that were strikes called balls by the umpire. As a result, it's 3-0 right now. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. That's where the first pitch was. They called it a strike. The calls it a strike this time. It was called a ball the first time, but he finally gets the call right. Inconsistency behind the plate at the moment. Where's AI when you need it? Looks like Donovan Solano takes a moment to regroup. Now here comes the 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Check swing, he held back. So we have a 2-out runner on with that walk. That brings up Mr. Ben Williamson. Here's the first pitch to Williamson. For that pitch, I don't get it. That one could have been called a ball. It was just a little outside, but called a strike. This umpire is being so inconsistent on those edge calls right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit into right field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Opposite field base hit. Solano stops at second. 2 runners now on after getting 2 outs. Second hit for the Mariners. Opposite field, little, just drops it in there. Little golfing action right there for Williamson. Just drops it in softly. Nobody there to play that ball. And that brings up Leo Rivas. Is that how you say his name? Here's the pitch. That's in there. Can't argue with that one. 95, almost right in the middle of the plate. The sinker finding the mark for strike 1. 2-1, the Astros are leading. Two outs, 2 runners on. Fromber trying to get out of the inning. That one is a few inches below the zone. The sinker missing the mark that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros Houston says, Konnichiwa. Same to you. I couldn't even say Ohayo gozaimasu because it is morning here. Here's the next toss. Ground ball towards Pena. Pena gets it, fires over. Gets the out. Nice solid play there by Pena to get the 3rd out. Fromber gives up a run due to an off-the-wall triple. Myers couldn't quite get there to catch it. It would have been a spectacular catch by Myers. He just couldn't quite get there. That turned into 1 run. A lot of action on the bases that inning for Fromber. 2 hits, a walk, including a single and a triple, and on a fielder's, well, I guess you could say a fielder's choice, but not really so much. A ground out sacrifice, maybe you could say. The Mariners scored. But 2 runs for the Mariners help out the Astros in the first inning. Going into the bottom of the second, Astros due up in just a moment, starting with Zach DeCenzo batting in the 8th slot, followed by Mauricio Dubon, and then back to Pena. That is who's dues up. That is who's dues up. Actress says Cusol. I wonder if this game is going to be any busier today in the live stream. 13 likes. Thanks so much. We got over 10 already. That's good. Marching on to 20. Get to 20 likes. And then get to that ultimate goal of 30 likes. And maybe, just maybe, the dream goal of 40 likes on this live stream. That would be really awesome. But man, for some reason, since yesterday, yesterday till today, I've been stuck on 375 subs. Why are people not subbing suddenly? I was getting between 7 and 11 subs per day every day, and then suddenly it just stopped. It just stalled at 375. So YouTube is not giving me any love, I guess. But yesterday's viewers and today, not high. It wasn't high yesterday. Not so high so far today. So I think YouTube is not showing me around, or maybe something to do with not too many people looking for the live play-by-play this weekend. I don't know. First pitch to DeCenzo's on that outside edge. Once again, that should have been a strike. It's nice to see the umpire not calling it for the Mariners either. 1-0. A little bit of a tight strike zone now. 1-0 pitch on the way. That one is in there. Clearly, the ball was fully in the zone. 1-1 with that fastball. See what DeCenzo can do after his break. He goes up the middle. Is it going to drop? Diving catch. Sliding catch. I'm not sure that they caught that. In center field, it looks like he scooped it on the short hop. Take a look at that. Yeah, that bounced. Yeah, he tried to act like he got it. They called him out, but that is a hit. DeCenzo got a hit. DeCenzo will be on first with a hit. That ball clearly bounced in the grass. You can take a look at it here. Yep. The crowd is reacting to that. It's obviously a hit. He came up like he caught it. The umpires called him out. But even from when I watched the original, it looked like it got down. And it was obviously down. They are now waiting for the call from New York on that replay. It was a nice scoop, but it definitely wasn't a catch. No catch, told you. They overturned the out call. DeCenzo is safe. And he'll be on first base with another hit. The Astros' fourth of the game. Lead-off hit here in the second. That brings up Dubon. Doobie-doobie-doo. Roo-roo-roo-roo. It's actually batting .270 right now. That's pretty good for Dubon. If he could stay at least there, that'd be awesome. First pitch on the way. He's going to swing? No, he doesn't. He has a tendency to swing a lot of those first pitches. Dubon is at his best when he's not trying to kill the ball. I learned that last season. 1-0 is the count. Here comes a pitch from Wu. Oh, look at this. See, that's what I'm talking about. That one was outside, and he called it a strike. But he's calling those like 75% of the time. 80% of the time, he's calling them balls. Wu goes over to first base. DeCenzo is back. No problem. Crowd boos a little bit. Boo, 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 boo. Count is even to Dubon, 1-1. No outs. See if we can move DeCenzo around the bases right here. Swing and a miss on that one, but for some reason he came out of the box when he was swinging. You got to stay in there, man. You got to keep your head down, stay in there if you want to hit that. That was right in there. 84 miles an hour. Let's go double dubious. Double dubious. Here's the pitch. Dubon grounds it to the right side. They're going to try to go for 2. No, they're going to have to stop right there. No time to throw it to first. DeCenzo is out. Dubon will be on first base. Tapper was just too slow to turn a double play, thankfully. 1 out, runner on 1. Runner on 1. Base 1. Top of the batting order back up with Jeremy Pena. 1 strikeout for Pena today. He was struck out looking on a pitch that was not so good. But, you know, you got to swing at those close ones. He swings at that one, and that one wasn't close. So Pena ends his last at-bat by letting one go that he should have swung at. And he starts off this one by swinging at something that's what we call in Japan gomi. Gomi is the word for garbage, trash. Here's the next pitch. That's also trash, but he lays off. Okay, so Pena had 1 piece of gomi. He was not interested in the second piece. Good for you. Good for you, Pena. You're learning. The 30th pitch of the game coming up for Wu. Woo, more gomi, more trash. Low and outside. That was a pretty dirty pitch. Pena hasn't had enough of the trash, apparently. One ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the toss. Check swing, fouled off, caught by the catcher. 2 strikeouts for Pena. That's not what a leadoff batter needs to be doing right there. 2 away. Hey, guys, we got a runner on first with 2 outs. It's peanut butter rally time. Peanut butter rally time. By the way, if you're wondering where I got that from, I came up with that. I put the 2 together. That's my original. If you hear anybody else, it's mine. Low and inside, strike 1 to Isaac Paredes. Paredes is not playing on third today. He's in the DH spot. He has a single already. 1 for 1. Dubon at first with 2 away. Here's the pitch. Hit really hard down the third base side, but foul. 0-2. 0-2. That's on you. I was going to say Mr. Paredes, but that doesn't rhyme. I could say 0-2 des, Mr. Paredes. Des is Japanese. I could say that. That rhymes. All right. Little break. He steps out of the box. And des is kind of like saying it is, in a way. Des. Like if you say kapu des, it means it's a cup. It's a cup. 0-2 pitch on the way from Wu. High, ball 1. 94 mile per hour fastball. How many pitches now? 34, about to be 35 for Wu. Pretty good bit for 2 innings. Here comes, nope, he goes to first. Dubon is back. Right now, 17 pitches per inning. That's about to go up to 17 and a half with this next delivery. Astros making him work a little bit. Here comes the next pitch. Check swing on the outside and low. He holds up for ball 2. The count's even Steven. Even Steven. JP3. Well, today it's JP2 so far. JP 2 strikeouts. Here's the 2-2. Paredes crushes that one, but man, way foul. The crowd went kind of crazy on that one, man. His first hit was a single, but that doesn't tell the tape. It doesn't give you the tell of the tape, rather. It was off the top of the wall, the Crawford boxes. It was a strike. I mean, a really hard hit line drive out there. Let's see if he can do that again, but lift it up a little. Ah, he swings at that one in the dirt. He goes the Pena route and strikes out. Goes the Pena route, and he strikes himself out. That's it for the bottom of the second. We go into the top of the third. Astros up 2-1. They strand Doobie on first base. Doobie did DeCenzo dirty by grounding out and getting him tossed out at second. But that's all good. That's all good. It's okay. Fromber's back on the mound in just a moment. He'll be facing the top of the lineup again with the Mariners. J.P. Crawford due up. Let's see here. Let me reset my avatar on the screen. Boom. There we go. Boom. Okay. If I move too far away from where the camera is, the avatar starts going a little crazy. Let's see. You said Jeremy Pena 3, not 2. No, I think you didn't get the joke, Astros Houston. I said that right now he's Pena 2. He's JP 2 because he has 2 strikeouts so far. He's JP 2. So I know his number is 3. I know he's JP 3. I'm just making a joke. JP 2 being 2 strikeouts. I'm just busting his balls, I guess you could say. I'm busting his chops. Let's see. I need to have some kind of poll or something in the chat. What kind of poll should I put in? Man, today must be Mauricio Dubon Day because they keep talking about him like crazy and his utility. The first pitch from Fromber's on the way to J.P. Crawford, and hey, that's on the corner and called a strike. Good for you, ump. Good for you. He has a heart after all. 0-1 to Mr. J.P. I want to see J.P. Sears. Do you guys know that guy on YouTube? 94 in the middle of the plate, fouled away for strike 2. Fromber ahead in the count, 0-2. I want to see J.P. Crawford. Can you imagine J.P. Sears batting against Fromber right now? Here's the pitch. Just a little low inside. The sinker missing the mark. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A foul tip caught by Caratini. Crawford goes down swinging, a K for Fromber. Good one. He lost his hat. That man has lost his hat. He swung so hard, his helmet came off. Next batter is Cal Raleigh. First pitch to him is low and almost in the dirt. Curveball missing. 1-0. I think I have a question I can put as a poll. Oh, hey, Mark. How's it going? I appreciate that. I have a question for you guys. Something I'm wondering about recently. Raleigh fouls that one off for strike 1, and that is even 1-1. He takes a little stroll around. Ooh, next pitch is just below the zone. He does a little check swing. They petition with the home plate umpire. And they say he went around. He was right. He did. He went around right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch on the way. Here comes the 1-2. Right in the bottom of the zone. Now, look at that. See, once again, the inconsistency by the umpire. Raleigh is really complaining about that. Now he's finally walking away, but, you know, the umpire's not going to change his mind. But take a look at this. This is actually not in the zone. That's an inch below the zone at least. And he calls it a strike. Inconsistency on the umpire, but it works in the Astros' favor this time. 2 away. There we go. A little simple poll for you. See what you guys think. Rodriguez looks at the umpire. Didn't really like that so much. A little low. But just like that, while I'm putting the poll up, 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. I can't believe the umpire didn't call that one. He's all over the place right now with his calls. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on. 2 outs. Top of the third. Smooth innings so far. Altuve is going to be due up in just a moment. Hitting over 400 over the past 5 or 6 games or 11 games or so. Altuve on fire recently. That sinker misses the mark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The poll is in the chat, guys. What do you think the Astros will wind up with as far as wins this season? There are 3 options there. Here's the next pitch. Low and inside. Full count. Full count. One of the reasons I'd like to have a traditional coffee maker is because I can make a whole pot, or I can make several cups. Well, Frommer starts to go into the windup, but Rodriguez steps out. If I make, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 cups at one time, and I have a hot plate, right? It can just sit there and be hot. So I don't have to keep reheating the water and remaking the cups. Ball 4. Misses low. So we have another 2-out base runner. Frommer just having trouble ending the inning, you know. Just end the inning. Get that last out. He had him at 1 ball and 2 strikes. He lost him. He lost him. He was even getting help from the umpire. He didn't need to do much. Mark, good to see you. Welcome back, sir. How many likes do we have on the live stream? 16. Almost to 20. Getting there. Rosarina fouls off the first pitch there for strike 1. 0-1. Frommer back to throwing strikes now. Now that he's got an even count, or a zeroed count. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back. He's got another 0-2 count. Let's see if he can actually shut it down this time. That's really nice. Just 4 more likes on the live stream, and I'll be at 20. That's my minimal goal for the day. 30 is my main goal. And 40 is my dream goal for the live stream. It's going to depend on how many people come in and watch the game. 50th pitch for Valdez coming up. In the dirt. Bounces off the ground. That's a stolen base right there. Good pitch to go on. Rodriguez steals on a pitch that Caratini couldn't grab easily. He tried to backhand and come up for a throw, but just couldn't do it. Runner on second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Rosarina. Swing and a miss. Good grief, yes. Frommer gets the K. Thankfully, they leave him stranded on second. Rosarino with the swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Fromber. That bottom falling out of the bottom falling out of that pitch, rather. I was about to say the bottom falling out of that ball. If the bottom fell out of that ball, man, then you know it has some nice spin on it. Bottom of the third coming up. Astros 2-1. 4 hits for the Stros, 2 hits for the Mariners. Mariners have just as many errors as they do hits right now. Mr. Go. Mr. Go. I kind of like that. Mr. Go. Has some energy to it, doesn't it? Astros Houston says, Go is konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. I am hello? Konnichiwa means hello. So I'm hello. I've been making some more changes on the channel. I'm just kind of going all in on the anime theme. It seems like Japan is... I mean, I want to be in Japan. It's basically my home, and I don't really have anywhere else to go. So, I've just decided I'm just going to keep going all in on the anime theme. If you guys haven't seen my recent short, it's a game 2. I've been posting some shorts, some game updates, short game updates. They're like game summaries, scoring summaries basically, of each game. I posted the newest one just maybe 5 hours ago or so, 5 or 6 hours ago. I stayed up too late, actually. And I decided to use a real Japanese woman's voice, and she is speaking English in the recording. Basically, they've sampled her voice, and I can use any text I want, and the program will speak it. So it's not AI. It's just, you know, you can figure it out. Altuve takes that first pitch a little high and outside, 1-0. Fielder's choice today for Altuve. Let's see if he can keep the streak going. I'm sure he can. I believe in you. He's freaking awesome at home. Here he goes. 87 right in the top of the zone. Strike 1. The count is even. But yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? If you have an AI recording, you put in the text and it literally generates the audio to go with the text, right? But this is a little different. 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Altuve takes that one way outside. 2-1. But a sampled voice is when they take the time to record a person's voice and all of the different sounds they make and the way they speak and their breathing and everything. It's very natural. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, a little high and outside. Good take by Altuve. 3 balls and 1 strike. Good discipline so far. But anyway, as far as what I was saying is the sampled voice, once they get all that stored in the memory, then you can type in anything you want and that voice will read it back to you, and it sounds much more natural. Here comes the 3-1. Altuve with the single to left field. He rips it through. Nice line drive hit. The hits continue for Jose Altuve. That's what I'm talking about right there. Runner on first. Lead off hit by Altuve. Fastball right down the middle. He didn't miss his opportunity. That brings up Christian Walker. See if he can move him around. Walker with a hit. Straight away. He doesn't waste any time going into left field. The very first pitch, a slider right down the middle, maybe a little low. 86 miles an hour. Looks like he broke his bat as well. But a nice smooth swing on the very first pitch. Now we have runners on first and second. Just like that. 2 hits for the Astros. Back-to-back singles. Both of these going into left field. The Astros getting the bat around on it quickly. 6 hits for the Astros now. Come on. Let's go, go, go. The Batman Victor Caratini at the plate. Takes that first pitch just in the bottom, just below the bottom of the zone. Ball 1. Good take. Come on, Batman. Drive these in if you can. Woo, inside. He started to go and held up. It would have been off the fists. Ball 2. Good call by the ump there. That one just barely missed the inside edge. Victor Caratini. 0 for 1 today, but he can rip the ball and should be able to do it on this pitcher. Everybody else is. Here comes the pitch. Little tapper foul. The 95-mile-per-hour sinker. Foul down the first base line. John Goodman on everything in AI. There's some really cool tools, Mark. There's one where I can actually record a big, long script, and the more you record, the better it can do with playing your voice back. Caratini goes to center field all the way out, close to the warning track. Rodriguez grabs it. Altuve is going to tag and go to third. We'll have runners on the corners with 1 out. So Caratini will go back to the dugout, but at least he moves Altuve over to third. Yeah, Altuve is easily able to get into second. Mr. Baseball, Jake Myers comes to the plate. I feel a hit coming on. Here's the first pitch to Myers. Ooh, I was expecting him to swing. He should have. 95 right in the middle of the zone. Strike 1. Rafael Devers is the only other batter leading the batting average this month over Jake Myers. Jake Myers is second. 95 right in there for strike 2. 1 for 1 today with a single already. Opposite field, but everybody's getting around early on this ball. Myers should definitely be able to get around early on it. Driving a run here, if not 2 or 3. Some kind of disconnection for some reason. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Cam Smith hits this pretty hard out to right field, but it looks like it's playable. And it is. So the Astros strand their runners. Back-to-back singles. And they strand them on base. I had a little disconnect there for a moment for some reason. That's unfortunate for the Astros. Stranding runners. It's a terrible inning when you start off with back-to-back singles and you can't even get one of them in. And then you just go out, out, out. That is disappointing. Astros are better at scoring runs with nobody on and 2 outs than they are with 2 runners on and no outs. Isn't that crazy? 6 hits. The Astros threatening to get up to easily a dozen hits this game, but they're going to have to start putting those runners on home plate. They're going to have to start plating runs. Otherwise, they're going to have this really bad ratio again. They're going to have like 12 hits and maybe 3 runs on the board. That's terrible. Yesterday, they beat the Mariners in hits. They had 10 or 11, I think. They only scored 3 runs. It's terrible. Can't be doing that. 2-1 as it stands, going into the top of the 4th. Mitch Garver will be facing Framber Valdez in just a second. Astro says, let's go Astro boy. Mark says, I saw a demo on it because of a crazy story of a pastor. Yeah, it's funny because some AI tools, you have to read this script. And they say that they will not allow you to just upload any audio. You can record your voice and upload the audio. And you can record your voice through their microphone sometimes, depending on the website or the software that you're using. You could just record it directly, and then it basically goes over your voice and builds a profile. But the reason they do it a certain way is because they make it to where it supposedly you can't copy other people's voices. First pitch is a strike in the bottom part of the zone, 78-mile-per-hour curveball. Nice pitch by Fromber to Mitch Garver. But the thing is, I've taken an anime character before and just taken clips of her voice. That one's in the dirt. Ball 1-1. And I just clip out the different parts of her voice saying the different words that I want, and I put them together as an audio file, and I uploaded that to this website, and it literally created a sound profile for her. So you can do this for anybody. Next pitch is just a little inside. So even though they try to say, why do I keep getting connected and reconnected? What in the world is going on? 3-1. The count to Garver, the leadoff batter. Here comes the pitch. He misses, low and outside. Leadoff walk. 3 walks now for Valdez. I'm using Starlink, by the way. I'm way out here in the countryside in Japan. There's literally no internet choice out here other than my mobile or Starlink. So I have Starlink. This is hit out into right field, all the way out to the track. Cam Smith grabs it, brings it back in. Garver goes back to first base. Dylan Moore flies out. 1 away on the very first pitch from Fromber. And that's my cue to heat up this water again and have myself another cup of coffee. What time is it right now? It is 6:15, 6:14 in the morning. Donovan Solano comes to the plate with 1 out and 1 runner on. Here's the pitch from Fromber. Woo, he gets the call there, thankfully. That got the edge of the plate. Nice sinker, looked like. Here comes the pitch. Just misses. Ball 1-1. Mark says bad timing on hits. You're right about that. A Walker hit the World Series. Here we come. Yeah, and they couldn't bring him in. Walker gets a hit, gets on base. Altuve gets a hit, gets on base. Can't bring him in. With no outs, couldn't bring him in. Can't go to the World Series like that. 2 balls and 1 strike on that pitch. 60 pitches now for Fromber. Here comes the 2-1. Right in the middle of the plate and hit hard to the right side. Walker tries to get it, and it bounces off his glove. What happened? Ah, okay, I see. I thought it went off of Walker's glove, but it actually hit the base runner. Yeah, it hit him on the foot, so he'll be out. Yeah, right on the foot. Mitch Garver is out, and Solano will be on first base. So, that's okay. Ben Williamson is at the plate now with 2 away. Runner on first. A little low, ball 1. Will Bite says Starlink is failing you. Not really. Actually, it's performing pretty well considering where I put the dish. I'll explain that to you in just a second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Fromber. Williamson takes that one low and outside. Ball 2. The changeup missing. Basically, right now my dish is sitting in front of the house. It has the best view of the sky that I can offer, but there's still a lot of obstructions because it's basically only about 5 feet off the ground, maybe, and too close to the house. Here's the next pitch. That's on the inside corner. Fastball, or no, that's a sinker. Strike one, 2-1. So I don't have my dish on top of the house, and wheel bite. If you saw how big and tall my house is, you'd understand why most of the sky is blocked. So on one side, the sky is almost completely blocked, and on two sides, a little blocked, partially blocked. Low and inside, another ball. 3-1 is the count. So once I get the dish on top of the house, I think I have no more problems. But even right now, it's still working quite well, so it's not failing me at all. If you knew what kind of internet I've dealt with out here, I'm quite happy. I'm literally very happy with the internet right now. I'll be even more happy once it gets up there, but I'm already happy with where it's at. Swing and a miss, second strike. The count is full on Mr. Williamson. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Solano on first base. Here comes the next pitch. 3-2. In the dirt, ball 4. Another walk. That's the fourth one. 2 walks this inning. Leo Rivas comes to the plate, the 9 batter. So the bottom of the batting order getting walks off of Fromber, driving him up to 67 pitches now in just 4 innings. That's a really high total for Fromber. Mark says this guy duplicated his wife's voice call 911 saying she's going to unalive herself. Then they found her dead. All kinds of nutty stuff around this guy. Well, I mean, that's horrible to do. Nutty at the least, but horrible. Truly horrible. 16 likes. Still sitting on 16. Need 4 more to get to 20 on the live stream if you guys haven't already. Leo Rivas comes to the plate. He's grounded out once. Here's the first pitch from Fromber. Again, too low. A lot of balls coming out of Fromber right now. How many balls has he thrown, I wonder? Does it say? I know I've got that information here somewhere. There it is. No, I don't see it. 93 right in the middle of the zone, basically. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Fromber trying to calm down a little bit and get this back in hand. Here comes the toss. Woo, just barely misses the bottom of the zone. Nice frame by Caratini, but it didn't help. The umpire was not fooled. 2-1. Another ball. 70 pitches now for Fromber. He's up to almost 18 pitches per inning. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That's in there and grounded to third. DeBon gets it back, hands it, long throw, makes the play. Good job by DeBon there to grab that and make the long throw. Fromber gets out of the inning somehow and gives up no runs. But, man, his pitch count is way up there. He's already at 71 pitches in just 4 innings. You know, Fromber can get up to 100 pitches, so if he's got 30 more in him, and pitching like this, at most he can do 2 more innings. 2 more innings of 15 pitch plus ball. That means he could only get through the 6th. He wouldn't be able to go beyond that. He's not going to get anywhere near the 8th or 9th inning pitching like this. I mean, he's getting through it, but man, he's struggling to get through it. 2-1 the Astros. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Zach DeCenzo is due up, followed by Mauricio Dubon and then Jeremy Pena. Let's take a quick looky-see. At how these batters are doing for the Astros. DeCenzo is the leadoff batter, due up in just a moment. He does have a single today. Dubon does not have a hit yet, and Pena has struck out twice. Astros have struck out just 4 times today. Not too many strikeouts, but half of those are Pena. Pena's batting average has dropped significantly recently. He's back down to 289. Paredes is batting 270. He's brought that up a lot since the beginning of the year. Altuve dropped way down in his batting average, below 240. He brought that back up a little bit. Recently, he's been batting pretty hot. Batting 255 at the moment. But over the past, I think it's 10 or 11 games, he's been batting over 400, so he's really been bringing that back up. DeCenzo is at the plate. First pitch from Wu will be on the way in just a moment. Here it comes. Low and inside, strike 1 on the sinker. 0-1. Oh, and 1 pitch on the way. Just above the zone. 93-mile-per-hour fastball missing the mark. The count is even. My hot water is ready. I can pour myself another cup of coffee. Second cup of coffee. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Wu. Woo, that's in the lower outer part of the zone. The ball fully in there, in that corner. Can't argue with that. Nice delivery. A little woo-woo from Wu. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, DeCenzo. See another hit, man. We need some runs. High. Ball 2. Count is even. DeCenzo. Zach DeCenzo, leadoff batter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Do something, mister. Do something good. Fouls that one way off. That's okay. I don't mind that. Don't remember the last game that DeCenzo started. It's been a few games. He's had a nice rest. He usually performs pretty well when he's had a rest. He does have a hit today. It's 1 for 1. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back again. Count remains 2-2. I forgot to change the count on the screen somehow. I forgot. Next toss from Brian Wu on the way. Low and in the dirt. Good take by DeCenzo. 3-2. Driving up the pitch count a little bit. Not as high as Fromber, but he's at 58 pitches right now. Mr. Wu is. Here's the full count pitch. Grounded foul again. DeCenzo staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Nine pitches. This at bat. Coming up right now. Here's the toss. Called a strike 3 right on the inside. Could have gone either way, but you know what? Once again, it's that same thing. If it's close and you got 2 strikes, you got to swing. You can't let that crap go. Can't let that go, Mr. DeCenzo. He strikes out looking. And Doobie comes to the plate. No hit yet today. Now's your chance. Let's get it going. 60 pitches now for Wu. Here's the next one. Right in there. 95 miles an hour. Lower part of the zone. Bee's knees. That's the bee's knees. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Dubon goes right up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Couldn't have been more perfect up the middle, right under the pitcher, right over the second base bag. So we have a 1-out single. Runner on first. 7 hits now for the Astros. And Pena comes to the plate. 2 strikeouts today. Let's see if he can get it turned around. He definitely can. Let's see that speed and power. Mr. Pena, here comes the first pitch, low and outside. That's a good take. Don't chase that garbage. One ball, no strikes. Here's the toss. Woo, man, that was a little low and outside, but the umpire liked it. He doesn't always call that one, but he called it just then. Strike 1. The count is even. Here's the next toss. That's hit up the middle, too, and it gets through. A line drive right through the pitcher. He almost hit him. Dubon goes to second. Pena with his first hit of the game. Man, 2 hits directly up the middle. Line drive right at Wu. Pitcher had to duck. Second baseman couldn't get it. Heck yes. Now we have runners on first and second for Mr. Jose Altuve. No, I'm sorry. That's not Altuve. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. Altuve's on deck. I looked at my information incorrectly. I apologize for that. Paredes is at the plate with 1 out, 2 on. Here's the pitch. Inside, he holds up. 95 miles an hour. Almost clipped his hands. Ball 1. Ball 1. Here's the next pitch. That's hit pretty hard out to left field, but it's going to be a high fly ball. Let's see if Dubon is going to be able to tag. He does. Does he get there? Yes, he does. He slides in. He's safe. How do you like that? Good base running. Out number 2, but now the Astros have runners on the corners. Just barely gets in there. Just a split second. Yeah, the throw was not quite on, so Astros capitalized by moving the runner over. Now there's a little meeting on the mound because guess what? That brings up Jose Altuve. They're having a meeting because Altuve is at the plate. 2 outs, runners on the corners. And my personal hero, my all-time favorite player. I don't say that lightly. He has earned it. On and off the field, he is the man. Altuve, 1 for 2 today. It's fielder's choice and a single, so he's been on base safely twice. Big hit here. Come on, Mr. Altuve. First pitch from Wu on the way. Below the zone. Good take. 94 miles an hour on that pitch. 1-0. Here comes the pitch. Oh, check swing on the inside. That was a little inside, but taken for strike 1, 96 miles an hour. 69 pitches now for Wu. The 70th on the way in just a moment. 1-1 to Altuve. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Another half swing, check swing, but that was right in there, 95 miles an hour. One ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Altuve. You can do it. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Little tapper back to the mound. Wu's going to go to first. And that's it. First baseman forgot that there were 3 outs. Altuve grounds out to Wu, unfortunately. Nothing doing. Once again, the Astros strand runners on. That's what they do. Strand runners on. How many hits now for the Astros? What did I say earlier? They're going to have a lot of hits and no runs on the board. Just like a couple runs on the board. It sure does feel like it. Right now, 8 hits for the Astros and 2 runs. This is so far worse than yesterday. 2 runs, 8 hits. Unbelievable. And the runs that they have on the board are courtesy of the errors from the Mariners in the first inning. So the Astros are celebrating opposite day today, where they score runs in the first and then not any in the rest of the game. It's usually opposite. Score nothing in the first and then just a few in the rest of the game. They flipped it today. 18 people watching the live stream right now. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you being here. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. At the very least, like the live stream. I'm only at 16 likes. I need 20 to help out with the algorithm right now. I appreciate you subscribing, but of course, I also appreciate you just liking the video, just taking the time to like it. And if you have even a few more seconds, feel free to vote in the live chat poll. Astros final win total for the season. What do you think it's going to be? Between 70 and 89? Between 90 and 99, or over 100. Right now, the results are way in favor of 90 to 99. 71% of you say 90 to 99. And only 14% of you say either 70 to 89 or 100 plus. So it seems solid. Everybody thinks, the vast majority thinks it's going to be 90 to 99. Had another little issue with the internet there for a second. Don't really know why. I'm going to have to check my connection after this to see what happens. Next pitch to Crawford is in there for strike 1. 1-1 is the count. I apologize. I got a little distracted there trying to figure out what's going on with my connection. It's so strange because my software says that I have an excellent connection. And it takes into consideration upload, download, ping, stability, and all of that. It says the stream health is excellent. The connection is excellent. So I don't know why suddenly it disconnected, but it is what it is. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Crawford. He grounds that up the middle. Fromber grabs it. Wow, what a backhand by Fromber. That's crazy. Look at this backhand by Fromber. It wasn't a hard hit ball, but man, what a good stretch and play. And he flips it into his hand, tosses it over to first to get the out. How do you like that little nifty play? You don't see Fromber do that too often, but he's gotten a lot better this year. He's shown a little effort, a little skill this year in defense, not just the pitching. In the dirt, first pitch to Cal Raleigh. Ball 1. Can't wait to get my satellite dish on top of the house. No more obstructions. I think my connection is going to be amazing. Right now it's about 256 megabits per second download. It's pretty awesome considering I'm out in the middle of nowhere. They don't even have DSL out here. Woo, right on the inside edge. Good pitch, good call by the ump. 93 mile per hour sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Raleigh, the DH, batting .255. That's in there too. Speaking of a .255 hitter, that's strike 2. 1 and 2. Raleigh is 0 for 2 today. He's about to be 0 for 3. Fromber, let's go. Here comes the toss. He swings at that one. 96 mile per hour sinker. Fouls it away. Count remains 1 and 2. Fromber takes a little break, strolls around after Raleigh takes a little break. He's got the hat back on, gets a little adjusted, and here comes the 1 and 2. Swing and a miss. He gets the strikeout. 81 mile per hour curveball. Drops it just below the zone. 2 away. Nice one. Take that, mister. Take that. Julio Rodriguez comes to the plate. Here comes the first toss to Rodriguez. Just a little outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's right in the middle, grounded straight to Altuve. No problem. He fires over to first base. Out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for Fromber. In the top of the 5th, we go to the bottom of the 5th. Astros leading 2-1. Another low-scoring affair. Not really surprised with Fromber keeping the Mariners to just 1 run, even though he's had to work his butt off today to get there. Currently, Fromber has pitched quite a number of pitches, around 80. Pretty high total for just 5 innings. Now let's see if I can do a connection quality test. If I can run a connection quality test on my internet and see what it says. Test my internet quality. Oh, I need to pour my coffee. I heated up my water and I totally forgot. Well, I clicked start. I guess I have to click it again. Okay. The test is starting. Okay, so my download speed, it has it listed around 200 megabits per second, so it's down just a little bit from normal, but still that's not bad. Upload is actually not bad. It's around 40 megabits per second. That's not bad. It's usually no higher than about 45. Where the dish is located right now, that's about the maximum I can get. It says my connection is good. The line quality is good. Latency is a little high. It is a little high, but it says it's still good. So I guess it's just the dish having to move. It is an articulating dish. If you guys know what that is, it means the dish moves by itself. If it needs to switch connections, it will do that by itself. I don't have to change it. Walker's at the plate. Inside, check swing. They say he didn't go. 1-0. They say he didn't go. 1-0. Walker, check this out, is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles and 1 run scored. How you like them apples? Here's the next pitch. That might be another one. No, it's handled by the third baseman. He fires over to first and gets him. So Walker is retired for the first time today. 1 away. Victor Caratini comes to the plate in just a moment. You know what's really funny? Brian Wu, the pitcher for the Mariners, his errors cost them some runs, and they're credited as unearned runs, but he's the pitcher. It's kind of like, shouldn't he be credited with those runs since he caused them? He is the pitcher. It's funny how baseball works like that. First pitch to Caratini is a ball. 0-2 today, over 2, but he did reach on the error to Wu. Started the Astros scoring in the first inning. That's in there for a strike. The four-seam fastball finding the mark. 1-1. Pacific. Wow, did that get him? Caratini did get hit. He tried to jump out of the way, but the slider hit him. Man, why does Caratini keep getting hit? Ooh, right on the knee. Ouch. Caratini has been hit so many times over the past 7 days. Why? A one out base runner, but man, he was pegged right on the knee. Pacific. 1 for 2 is Jake Myers, who's at the plate right now. There comes the pitch. Right on the outside edge, strike one, 94 mile per hour sinker. 0-1. Oh, here I'm sitting here with my coffee in my hand. I need to finish pouring it. Come on, pour, pour, pour. 0-1 to Myers with 1 out. Caratini on first base. Here's the pitch from Wu. That's outside for ball 1. 1-1. Wu seems to be a rather emotional guy. He was yelling in his glove earlier. Fouls that one off inside. Strike 2. 1-2 is the count. Caratini at first base, and Myers unable to move him over on that swing. Luckily, he has another opportunity. At least one. But he calls a timeout. He wants to take a light Myers swing. And there it is right there. Typical Myers one light swing on the called timeout. Crowd comes alive a little bit, looking for something good to happen here. Here comes the pitch. 1-2. It's the 80th pitch of the game for Wu. Fouled off on the right side and into the crowd. Myers not quite ahead of the ball as he was earlier. One ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to Myers. Up the middle again. Is it going to? No, it's going to be a double play. Terrible throw, but good catch by Solano, and that's going to end the inning. It was not hit hard enough. 2-1 Astros. We are through 5 innings. We go to the top of the 6th. Still a close game. Double play ending that inning. Just wasn't hit hard enough. It went right up the middle, but just not struck on the fat part of the bat. So it was kind of a dead hit. Man. Let's see if the Astros can actually score some more runs this game. Do you think so? Sure hope they can. I'm looking up something right now. Give me just a moment. Oops, I accidentally changed my keyboard to Japanese. I'm trying to type something in English to look for something. All right, now we're back. Sorry about that. That last inning was definitely pathetic, Jordan. Pathetic. Pathetic. First pitch on the way to Mr. Randy Arozarena. He tries to hold up his swing, but it didn't matter. The ball was still in there. He looks at the ump like, hey, I didn't go around. It doesn't matter. That was still a strike. Crazy. Right in the middle of the plate. Here's the pitch. Right in there again, this time taken for a strike. He calls a timeout. 0-2. Fromber is ahead in the count. My head has gotten a little hot here. I'm still wearing my bedtime hat. Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt. 1 ball. 2 strikes. I think this will be the last bit of water in my coffee and it'll be ready. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Arozarena, the leadoff batter. Here comes the pitch. Hit out into right field. Looks like a foul ball, and it is. Count remains 1-2. Only 10 people watching. Not a very popular game. What is it with these weekend games, guys? These weekend games don't have a lot of viewers. Here's the next pitch. Grounded foul again down the third baseline. A little tapper. 1-2. The count remains. Got 17 likes. Still 3 short of 20. Took forever to go from 16 to 17. Here comes the next pitch. Hit hard into center field. Looks like it should be playable for Myers, and it is right in the middle. He puts it away in the sunlight for the first out. Next batter is Mitch Garver. Fromber gets the call that he wants. And here comes the delivery. Just a little outside with the changeup. 1 ball, no strikes. No new subscribers today. Interesting. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back. Strike 1. Can't get around on that sinker. One and one against Garver with 1 out. No runners on. Here's the next pitch from Fromber. Low and inside. 2-1. My little trash can next to the desk here is filled with like 90% coffee. Here goes the 2-1 pitch. Right in there. Nice curveball. 78-mile-per-hour curveball. Started outside, came back in. And the count is 2-2, just like that. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, he didn't get him to chase after that one. The curveball below the zone. We have another full count. Full count. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to third. Dubon grabs it. Long throw to first and a bounce, and Walker can't handle it. He's going to be safe. Walker can't grab it out of the dirt. It was not a great throw. It was a long throw by Dubon. Looks like they're going to rule it a single. I feel like that should be an error, a throwing error, though. I feel like he had plenty of time to make that throw. See, look at this. He grabs it. He's able to set up and throw. Just makes a bad throw. Yeah, bad throw. That's what happens when Paredes is not over there. Dylan Moore takes the first pitch for ball 1. 4 hits now for the Mariners. Should have been an error, I believe. That's my personal feeling. 0 for 2 today is Moore. Next pitch is low. Ball 2. Looks like Bennett Sousa will be coming in for Fromber sooner or later. Here's the next pitch. The 2-0 gets hit really hard out into center field, but should be playable. 2 away. Myers puts it away, no problem. Donovan Solano comes to the plate. 1 walk and a single today. First pitch is on the way. In the dirt inside. Caratini has to scoot over and grab it. Runner stays on first. Ball 1. One and 0 is the count. Here comes the pitch to Solano. That's right in there. 93-mile-per-hour strike. Change up finding the mark. The count is even, 1-1. Crowd getting a little excited and cheering right now. I don't know why. It's a 1-1 pitch. 1-1 count, rather. Fromber has him picked off. Look at that. Fromber picked him off at first base. Garver was off and running. He was picked off by Fromber, and Walker couldn't handle the throw, so he moves to second. Take a look at this. Look at that. Walker with the terrible mistake. Fromber was really upset about that. He got the pick off, and Walker couldn't handle it. He just dropped the ball. Next pitch is high for ball 2. 2-1 to Solano. 2 outs. Garver on second. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. Strike 2. Crowd is getting really into it right now, even before it got to 2 strikes. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. Run on second. Lots of twos. 2-2, 2-2. 2-2, 2-2. 100 pitches now for Valdez, guys. 100. Here's the next pitch. Grounded up the middle. Pena nabs it. Fires to first. Gets the play. Thank you, Pena, with a diving play. Excellent defensive play by Pena. Gets them out of the inning. Couple of bad plays by the Astros. Bad throw by Dubon. Dropped ball by Walker. But Fromber showing some respect to Jeremy Pena for making that awesome play. Goodness gracious. Fromber was so upset, man. He had that pickoff, and Walker just literally dropped the ball. It was not a bad throw. It was a perfect throw. Walker just dropped it from the transfer from his glove to his hand. He got too excited, I guess. Dropped the ball. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Astros still leading, but just by a hair, 2-1. Just by a rabbit. Just by a wabbit. 19 likes on the live stream. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I just need one more to get to 20. 20 is the minimal good performance on this live stream. I don't believe that I've had more than 20 people watching at the same time today. It's been another very low viewer count, similar to yesterday. I don't know why. I figured these games would be a little more popular. Do people not watch baseball on the weekends? I kind of feel like they don't. Sometimes I wonder if it weren't for YouTube's punishment on the algorithms, I might not even call these games on the weekend. Skip the weekend, skip the 2 a.m., 3 a.m. games, and just do the others. But I feel like it would hurt my channel exposure. Cam Smith comes to the plate. Wu is still on the mound. He's up to 81 pitches. First pitch to Smith is on the way. Mr. Smith takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. Let's see if he can turn that around. Turn it around, Cam. Crank it up. High and outside, another good take. 2 balls and no strikes. A nice leadoff hit would be good. Here comes the pitch. And it goes right up the middle. And he gets it. Leadoff hit. Single for Cam. That's interesting. I just heard some game info, some stat info about Brian Wu. That's 9 hits the Astros have put on him. The most any team has gotten on him this season. So that's good. The Astros are hitting the ball, but they've only got 2 runs on the board. They're not converting. 2 errors for the Mariners, 1 error for the Astros. Should be 2. DeCenzo comes to the plate with 1 runner on. Low and outside, ball 1. Mariners probably will have somebody warming up in the bullpen here shortly. It's my feeling. One ball, no strikes, no outs. Cam on first. DeCenzo at the plate. Little high, ball 2. All you good people watching now, but got about 19 listening in. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to like the live stream. Get me up way over 20. Let's get to 30. Let's do it. Here's the 2-0 pitch. To DeCenzo. Fouled back. 95 mile per hour fastball right in the middle of the plate. 2-1. If I get to 500 subs, I will get a new microphone. I've got a headset microphone right now, but I'll get something with better noise cancellation. This one does fine getting the audio, but too much static, too much background noise, I think, or just too much static for this microphone. But I can't warrant spending the money right now. If I get to 500 subs, then I'll do that. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's DeCenzo's next pitch. He hits that one right at the second baseman. Probably going to be a double play, and it is. And that eliminates the Astros base runner. 2 away. Dubon comes to the plate with bases empty. So Wu gets lucky there. He's going to stay in the game for a little longer. 88 pitches now. Dubon does have a single. He singled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Dubon. He just stands there and takes that one. Looks like he wasn't even planning on swinging. Literally standing straight up, not even ready, just standing there. 0-1. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off. He decides to swing at that one. Oh and 2. Unless there's a 2-out rally, the bottom of the 6th is not looking too good for the Astros. 9 hits and only 2 runs. Here comes the 0-2 to Dubon. Tapped at the plate, foul. Count remains 0-2. Did I get to 20 likes yet? Let's see. Let's take a quick look. No, still at 19. One more like, people. If you haven't liked already, please do so. I'd appreciate that. I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. 2 outs, nobody on. 0-2. Here's the next toss from Wu to Dubon. Way outside, ball 1. The slider just kept sliding way outside the zone. Brian Wu shakes off a few pitches. Now he's got what he wants. Here comes the delivery. Dubon up the middle, and it's going to be backhanded and thrown really high. But man, what a good throw there. Dubon should take notes, ironically, on how to throw the ball. That one was a really tough throw, and he made it. Dubon had time to set up, plant, and throw. He made a terrible throw earlier. 3 up and 3 down. We're going into the top of the 7th, guys. 2-1 Astros. Another one of these low-scoring games. Astros get a lot of hits, convert only 2 thanks to the errors. Now, if you take away those errors, the Astros would have 9 hits and no runs. How terrible is that? So actually, the Astros plating the runner performance has been absolutely horrible today. Like really, really bad. It's normally not that good, but today it's really bad. Really bad. They're going to have to do some improving. I see I've got 20 people listening in, following now, and 21 likes. Excellent. We got over 20. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. For those of you who have been coming back, who've been hanging out or lurking, or new people, thanks to all of you. I appreciate all of you. I really do. I really do. It seems I got another subscriber. I went to 376. My first new subscriber during this live stream. If you are an Astros fan, I appreciate you subscribing. If you like the live play-by-play coverage, definitely subscribe, because this is not the only one that I've done. I've done several, and I will do several more. My plan is to be here for the game tomorrow, even though tomorrow's game is much, much earlier. I will be able to go to bed early tonight because I had to get up early today and do this game. It's a little after 7 in the morning here in Japan, and I got a lot of cleaning to do here at my old house. So I'll be working on that today. Bennett Sousa is now on the mound for the Astros. I need to update his picture on the screen when I have a chance. He is facing Ben Williamson, and here comes the first toss. A little high and outside, just barely misses the corner. 1-0 to Williamson. Here comes the next pitch from Sosa. That's on the outside edge for a strike. 86-mile-per-hour pitch. 1-1. Next pitch from Sousa on the way. Swing and a miss. Nice movement on that one. The slider at 86 miles an hour. Strike 2. That came out right in the heart of the plate. Good one. Williamson takes a little time out. Now he's back in the box. Here's the next toss. 1 and 2 in the dirt. That'll be a even count. An even count at 2 and 2. Mariners do have some guys going in the bullpen now. Whoops, I turned my avatar off. That was my bad. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That one's in the dirt. Caratini tags him to finalize the out. First batter, a strikeout for Sousa. Bottom just fell out of that one. Fooled him. Fooled the crap out of him. Leo Rivas comes to the plate, takes the first pitch high and a little outside for ball 1. This series tied up 1-1 so far. Astros trying to hang on to this lead or build on it. Take control of this series and have a chance to win it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rivas. Here's the next pitch. Grounded straight to Altuve, who grabs it, goes to first. Easy peasy. Good, solid, basic play there. 2 away. I've got the Bennett Sousa picture now. First pitch to J.P. Crawford is in there for strike 1. Oh, I've already got Sousa's picture. I forgot about that. I didn't have to make that. I've got it. There we go. Next pitch is on the way. Right in the middle. Fouled off. Strike 2. 0-2. Sousa is out to a good lead in the count. 2 outs, 2 strikes, nobody on. 19 people following along. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. I love you. I want to be with you forever. This is hit up the middle. Pena grabs it, fires over. Pena was in the right spot for that one. It wasn't hit very hard, so it was not a difficult play, but he happened to be in the right spot. 3 up and 3 down for Bennett Sousa. We get through the 7th with no damage done. The score remains Astros 2, Mariners 1. Pena, who just ended the inning, is due up to bat in just a few moments, followed by Isaac the Ball Paredes, and then Jose Altuve. Let's see, I want to try a little funny picture. There's a picture I've been wanting to make. I haven't made it yet, but I'm going to try to make it now and then share it with you guys so you can see it. I want to see what it looks like. Oh, no, I need a better picture than that. Let's see. It's a picture that I'm going to modify of Jeremy Pena. Where is it at? Okay, I guess I need to refine my search. Jeremy Pena running. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go to a new chat with Chat GPT. Okay, I'm getting the AI to create a very interesting picture about Pena. Hey, look at that. Jeremy Pena rips that second pitch through the left side. First pitch was fouled off, so he came out swinging. And before I can get done doing what I was doing, he gets on base. Let's take a look at that. Got on top of a slider that was up high, and he got on top of it and pulled it down. So we have a leadoff base runner. Isaac Paredes comes to plate. The Astros now with 10 hits. That first pitch is right in there, a 93-mile-per-hour sinker. Casey Legumina is on the mound right now. Takes a little break. Paredes takes a timeout. See if I've got this guy's. No, I don't have his image. I'm going to have to download that. I'll change that on the screen in just a moment. Here's the next pitch to Paredes. Swing and a miss. 95 up and in. 0-2. One single off the wall, off the Crawford boxes in the first inning, but since then, nothing doing for Paredes so far. 0-2. Here comes the pitch. Hit high and back into the crowd. Count remains 0-2. Legumina? No, is that his name? Is that how you pronounce it? Next pitch. Way outside. Ball 1. 1-2 to Isaac the ball, Paredes. No outs. Pena on first. A flash. Here's the next pitch. Hit hard to the left side. Picked up by the third baseman. Should be easy double play, and it is, unfortunately. Another double play. Mariners have several double plays in this game, shutting down the Astros base runners. And 2 away. I'd be happy with just a home run. Altuve could hit one out right here into the Crawford boxes, and I'd be so much happier just to have that 2-run lead. Altuve's at the plate right now. First pitch is on the way. Hey, he goes after that first one. Is it going to be it's going to be fly out over into foul territory. He's got it. The very first pitch, Altuve flies out. Gets too far underneath it. Nothing for the Astros. And the bottom of the 7th. We go into the top of the 8th. 2-1. 10 hits for the Astros and just 2 runs on the board. If the Astros lose this game, it's going to be the hitter's fault again. It's going to be a combination of the relievers not able to hold that 1-run lead, but the Astros hitters just putting too much pressure on the relievers. They need to be plating these runs. Can't be leaving people on base that much. 10 hits and only 2 runs. And by the way, once again, for those of you who didn't hear this earlier, the Astros got those 2 runs in the first inning due to errors. They didn't even earn those runs. The Astros' runs so far have been 0. This game should be 10 hits with 0 runs. That's totally unacceptable. All right, 16 people watching. We've fallen off a little bit. We're up to 20, but the game hasn't been very popular today. Too many people not interested in this low-scoring game. A pretty boring, close game. Maybe as it gets into the ninth inning, we'll have more people come in. We'll see. But even for a slow weekend game, still got up to 21 likes. I appreciate that. If you haven't liked the live stream already, I would like for you to do that now. You have my sincere thanks. We are in the top of the 8th. The Mariners are due up in just a moment. We'll see if Sosa is still on the mound for the Astros or if they go to someone else. Might be Brian King. I wouldn't mind seeing King on the mound. I was sad yesterday when they pulled him out. Came back to bite him in the butt. And then Abreu gave up 3 runs. I wasn't really sure what Espada was thinking yesterday by pulling King out of the game. He was doing just fine. He had 1 runner on, but King is pretty solid. Abreu is on the mound. Okay, they went straight to Abreu. First pitch is a ball. Oh, they think that it might have hit him. They're not going to challenge it. Yeah, the batter, Cal Raleigh, he thought the ball hit him. But they're not going to challenge it. Abreu is on the mound, guys. One-0 pitch to Raleigh. That's in there. 98 miles an hour on that fastball. 1-1 is the count. 1-1 is the count. 21 watching. Hey, that's a high for this stream. This particular stream today. High and outside for ball 1. I'm sorry, ball 2. 2-1. My bad. Next pitch to Raleigh's on the way. Low and inside. 3-1. Don't let it get away from you, Mr. Abreu. Here's the next pitch from Abreu. That's in there. 97. What? 97 mile per hour fastball right in the zone. That ball was fully in the zone and called ball 4. Are you kidding me? And nobody said anything, not even the commentators. That was a strike. Man, what is with this umpire? I'm not kidding, guys. That ball was 100% fully inside the zone. And a fastball at that. Straight in there. Nevertheless, first pitch to Julio Rodriguez is a foul ball. Strike 1. 1 runner on first. No outs. I don't know why I went out on the screen. 1 strike. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the toss. Swing and a miss right below the zone. Good slider. 0-2 is the count. Abreu, I hope he realizes that he can't depend on clipping the edge of the plate. Can't depend on that. Not with this umpire. Consistently calls them balls. Not consistent enough to be trying it. Just deliver good, solid pitches. Here's the next one. Way up and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 99 miles an hour on that fastball. Just missed his mark. 0 for 2 today is Rodriguez. He decides to call a timeout. Step out of the box. I got that picture I was making about Jeremy Pena, but it looks really funny. It says Houston. Here comes the next pitch by Abreu. Tapped to the third base side. Dubon goes to second. He gets him at second. Good job to get the leadoff runner. No chance to get the double play. But he does get Raleigh at second base. Altuve's on second. All right, one away. Runner on first. That brings up Randy Arozarena. The first pitch from Abreu. Strike. Swing and a miss on that 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Ten pitches now for Abreu. 0-1 is the count. Abreu throws over to first base, but Rodriguez is back, no problem. Oh, 0-1 pitch likely on the way in just a moment. And here it comes. A little delay. Now it's coming. Swing and a miss. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Right down the pipe in the top of the zone. Swing and a miss. Arozarena can't handle that one. Oh and 2. Nice strikeout here would be perfect. Way up inside. Backed him off the plate a little bit with that one. 1 and 2. Here comes the next pitch from Abreu. High and outside. Last one was high and inside. This one's high and outside. Another 99-mile-per-hour fastball. So he's chunking it in there really fast. But he's missing the mark by a few inches. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Did he go? No, check swing. They say he did not go. I thought for sure. Yeah, they're complaining. Yainer Diaz is over in the dugout complaining. The umpire's yelling at him like, be quiet, be quiet. Oh, that was a swing. That was a definite swing, but they called it a non-swing. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. All right, he gets that one anyway. Abreu's like, screw that. If you're not going to call the right play, you're not going to call that strike, I'll just pick it up myself. He picks up the strikeout with a breaking ball. Arozarena wasn't ready for that. Just froze him up. He's been throwing him so many fastballs. Nice breaking ball. Wasn't expecting it. Runner on first with 2 outs. Mitch Garver comes to the plate. Here comes the toss. Right in there again. An 85-mile-per-hour slider. Similar to that last pitch. 0-1. Astros Houston says Brian X2 Pro Player. X2 Pro Player, what is that? Here comes the 0-1 right in there again. Another slider, 87 miles an hour. Strike 2. Garver just standing there like a deer. By the way, where I live out here in the countryside, in the evening when you drive out here, you got to be really careful. Sometimes you see between like 13 and 18 deer in a big herd. No kidding. Sometimes they're just standing in the road. I have to come to a complete stop, and they just stand there and stare at me like they don't know what to do. That next pitch is low, 99 miles an hour, misses below the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The amount of deer out here is crazy. I was wondering if I could get my license and actually do deer hunting out here, because it'd be a great place to do it. And they have overcrowding with deer in this area. You can actually buy deer meat at the local cafe. Here's the pitch. Nope. He goes over to first. Rodriguez barely back. He almost got him. 1 engagement, or rather disengagement, for Abreu. 18 people watching now. Let's see if it picks up. I'd like to get a 30 before the end of this game. That'd be great. Here's the next pitch. Off of Caratini. It bounces and hits him. Rodriguez goes to second. That's a wild pitch. Yeah, the slider just kind of got away from him there. Sounds like it hit off of Caratini's mask. 20th pitch coming up in just a moment, but Caratini is going to go out to the mound and have a little talk with Abreu. They're having a little discussion. Quick little breaky break. The count right now is 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and runner on second. Lots of twos. 2-2-2-2. 2-2-2-2 again. Altuve and Rodriguez having a little chit chat at second base. It's nice to see the players getting along like that so well, especially in a situation like this. Nail biter in the 8th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Garver. He's back in the box. Here's the toss from Abreu. Ooh, just barely misses the lower outside corner. There he goes again with that fastball, trying to get that outside edge. He just misses it by maybe about an inch. But that umpire is not going to give those. He doesn't give them easily. Not often. Full count pitch. He gets it that time. Yes! I can't believe it. He got it. Right on the inside. That ball was fully in the zone. Garver's complaining, or rather, not Garver. Or is Garver? Yeah, it was Garver. He was complaining about it to the umpire. But actually, that ball was fully in the zone. So basically, Abreu throws the identical pitch back to back, that fastball, in the lower outside corner. He misses it by about an inch the first time, and the second one, it's fully in the zone. Luckily, he gets the call from the umpire. Good grief, man. The bottom of the 8th coming up. Talk about a close game. 2-1 Astros. Christian Walker coming to the plate in just moments, followed by Victor Caratini and Jake Myers. Woof. Sure would be nice for the Astros to get at least one insurance run here, but preferably 2 or more. 2 or more. They have so many hits today, and yet no earned hits. No real earned hits. Here's a quiz question for you guys. For those of you who haven't been listening to the live commentary this whole time, maybe this will be more challenging for you. Astros have 10 hits and 2 runs. How many RBIs do they have? If you know the answer, put it in the chat. How many RBIs do the Astros have this game? Casey Legumina, is he still in the game? Yeah, he's still in the game. Legumina. Casey Legumina facing Christian Walker. That first pitch is a strike. Second pitch on the way. This one's hit out to right field. Right fielder is able to make the play. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Fly out by Walker. Walker's batting average had gotten back up over 200 with his 2 hits today. But that's going to drop him back down to 202. Victor Caratini at the plate, and he rips it right down the first baseline. Man, he got around on that one big time. That was an 84-mile-per-hour slider. He pulled it like it was tossed at 50 miles an hour. Almost hit the first base coach. Yeah, he just barely got out of the way there. Oh and 1 to Caratini. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off. Caratini swinging, making contact, but now it's 0 and 2. 88 mile per hour changeup. Let's see if Legumina speeds up the pitch right here. He's thrown 2 off-speed pitches. Here comes the 0 and 2 pitch. He does go with the fastball, but that is also fouled off by Caratini. The count remains 0 and 2. I appreciate you guys being here. 22 likes on the live stream right now. 8 more to go to get to 30. Help me out. Might not get there today. Not enough viewers. Need more viewers. That pitch is outside. The first ball to Caratini. Good take. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch from Legumina on the way. Fouled off again. I have to look at his name. It's like Legumina. Legumina. What kind of a name is that? The count remains 1 and 2. Hey, just like the errors. Astros 1, Mariners 2. Here's the 1 and 2 pitch. Right up the middle. A single for Caratini. Right over the head. Basically almost through the pitcher there. Legumina had a duck to get out of the way. A 1 out base runner. 11 hits now for the Astros. And that brings up Jake Myers, one of the hot bats for the Astros. Currently batting .310 for the season. He only needs, I think, 1 more hit to be at an all-time career high for a month. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. 94 mile per hour fastball sailing into the crowd. Single, strikeout, and a double play ground out for Myers today. He taps that one to the left side. Might be trouble. The pitcher throws it to first. He barely gets him, but he gets Caratini to second. So it's 2 away, but we have a runner in scoring position now. Little tapper. Nice play with a sidearm throw by the pitcher. Could have been trouble. It would have been nice to get an error there. Another error would have helped the Astros out. If he had thrown that out in right field, maybe Caratini would have scored. That would have been awesome. All right, guys. Cam Smith comes to the plate. It looks like Chas McCormick is on deck. He's going to be batting for DeCenzo, so they're going to swap McCormick out in left field. Here's the first pitch to Cam Smith. He fouls it off. The 94 mile per hour sinker. 0 and 1. Josh Hader's warming up in the bullpen. Blah. The bullpen? Is that what I said? The bullpen? The bullpen for the Astros. 0 and 1 is the count. The 20th pitch for Legumina comes swing and a miss. Cam Smith can't get the bat on it. 0 and 2. Oh and 2 is the count with 2 outs. Runner on second. Smith fouls that one off. Count remains 0 and 2. Likes on the live stream camped out right now at 22. 8 shy of my dream goal for today. He hits that one straight to the shortstop J.P. Crawford. He makes the throw. Nothing doing for the Astros in the 8th. Josh Hader is due up for the Astros. He runs out to the mound. Top of the 9th, guys. Are the Astros going to pull this off? 2-1. I made a joke in the first inning about the Astros scoring those 2 runs and saying for the rest of the game they'd get nothing. And that's what they've done so far. And then later on, I made a joke and I thought, it's kind of opposite day for the Astros, right? Normally they score nothing in the first, and then they get some runs, a few runs, the rest of the game. But today it's opposite. They get a couple of runs in the first and nothing for the rest of the game. As long as they can hold the Mariners right here, they'll win. But man, what a tight game, 2-1. So far, the Astros pitching is getting the job done. I mean, Fromber had to work his butt off to get to where Sosa came in and continued to hold down the fort. Then Abreu came in, held down the fort. And now it's Hader's turn. I want to see that angry, aggressive Hader that just blows everybody's doors off. That's what I want to see. Slay says, let's go, Hader. Keep it 2-1. I agree 103%. 103%, that's 2 plus 1. All right. Dylan Moore is at the plate. And he's facing Josh Hader. First pitch is in there, 82-mile-per-hour slider, strike 1. Oh, and 1 pitch on the way. Ooh, another slider in the bottom of the zone, swinging a foul tip at the plate. 0-2. Moore is 0 for 3 against Hader in his career for 3 strikeouts. He's looking at 0-2 right here. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. How you like that? He's 0 for 4 against Hader, a 3-pitch strikeout. Can you believe that? He's faced Hader 4 times in his life. And he struck out every single time. That's what I like to see. 1 away. Donovan Solano comes to the plate. First pitch to Solano coming up in just a moment. Hit out to right field, foul. Strike 1. 4 straight strikes for Hader. Yeah, I got 23 watching right now. The count is going up a little bit now that it's in the 9th inning. I thought kind of it would. I appreciate you liking the live stream. Here comes the pitch from Hader. That one's outside. The first ball thrown by Hader. 95-mile-per-hour sinker. A little high and out of the zone. The count's even, 1-1. Astros need to hang on 2-1 to get the 2-1 lead in the series. Fouled off. 95. Sinker. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Solano asks for a timeout from the umpire. And the umpire says, I'll give you a timeout, mister. I'll set you in the corner. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again on the outside edge. 83-mile-per-hour slider. Count remains 1-2. 25 people. Yep, it creeps up as it gets into the 9th inning. Thank you so much for being here. 26 now. Please like the live stream, guys. All you new people coming in. Help me out a little bit. Give me some love. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Pretty wild pitch there. 83 miles an hour. Bounced almost before the plate, I think. 2-2 is the count against Solano. Two outs away from ending this game. Next pitch is grounded right through. That's going to be a base hit. A one-out base runner now with the opposite field single by Solano. The 2-2 pitch, and he singles it to the right side. One runner on with one out. Ben Williamson comes to the plate. A single, a walk, and a strikeout so far today. This is the bottom of the batting order. These are the guys that you really had to pitch to. Solano was batting 162, okay? Solano is batting 162 for the season. He just got that single. Come on, Hader. Here's the pitch to Williamson. That's inside. 1-0. I don't know why I said Tavares. I saw him on the screen. I guess, yeah, he's okay. That's why he's on the screen, because he's pinch running. Next pitch is right on the inside, 96 miles an hour. Good pitch. Counts even, 1-1. All you new people that have come in to watch the last inning, please like. As Hader goes over to first base, runner's back. Tavares dances back, no problem. I'd really, really like to get this live stream up to 30 likes. If you haven't liked it already, please do so. 8 away. Next pitch is fouled off. The 84-mile-per-hour slider going into the crowd. Strike two. 1-2. I'll take the strikeout, but a double play ball would be even better. Here comes the pitch from Hader. Williamson takes it on the outside lower corner. Man, that was close. The umpire almost never calls that, and he calls it this time. Gets him looking. Can't believe it. Strike three on that outside lower corner. Can't really see it so well from this angle, but he got that little help from the umpire. That umpire, man, he has been really something with that pitch this game. That brings up Leo Rivas. That pitch is in there, the very first pitch, 84 miles an hour, taken for strike one. 0-1. 2 outs, runner on first. Tavares at first, Rivas at the plate. 0-1. Here's the pitch from Hader. He shows bunt, pulls back, but that's a strike, my friend. What are you doing showing bunt with a runner on first and 2 outs? What's wrong with you? And then taking a strike? Is this Little League? 0-2. Crowd stands to their feet. It's down to one strike. One strike away from winning this game. 2-1, guys. 24 likes on the live stream. Thank you so much. Please like if you haven't done so already. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt, inside. Good catch by Caratini to stop it. Tavares stays at first base. And that is the first ball. 1-2. You can see here, it just really dropped in there. What a catch by Caratini. The Batman becoming the catch man right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rivas. Hader goes over to first base. Tavares gets back, no problem. Crowd is on their feet. They were cheering. Now they're kind of quiet. Now they slowly start to get loud again. 1-2 pitch to Rivas. Here it comes. Strike 3. Hader gets the swing and the miss on the 96-mile-per-hour sinker. The Astros win this freaking game 2-1. Good grief. I can't take it. I can't take this type of nonsense. What a nail-biter. 11 hits, and the Astros only get 2 runs on the board with errors. No RBIs for the Astros. Not a single RBI for the Astros today. Not a single one. Both runs unearned. And yet they win the game. In the first inning, 2 unearned runs. The Astros pull it out. What a crazy game. The Astros now go up in the series 2-1 over the Mariners. 24 likes on the channel on this live stream. Thanks so much, guys. We're going to do a really quick recap so you know what happened. But this game, there wasn't much going on. It was all pitching and stranding runners on base. Almost no RBIs in this game. Almost none. The Mariners had a sacrifice, a fielder's choice, or I guess you could say they had a runner on third, and they scored him with a fielder's choice, basically. So that was an RBI. But the Astros got 2 runs and no RBIs. It's crazy. Here's the total scoring summary. In the very first inning, Christian Walker reached on an infield single to the pitcher. There was an error by Wu, the pitcher, who made a terrible throw, went way past the first baseman and out into right field. That allowed Altuve to score and Walker to go to second. The Astros were up 1-0. Again in the first, there was a fielding error by Rivas. Caratini was safe at first base, and that allowed Walker to score 2-0. So the Astros had 2 unearned runs in the very first inning, thanks to errors. And the top of the second, the Mariners came right back when Garver grounded out to third, scoring a Rosarina. Rosarina had tripled off the wall. And that would be the only run they would score. And the only RBI in the entire game. 2-1 Astros. Can you believe that? What a game. What a crazy game. Valdez does get the win. 6 innings pitched. He threw a lot of pitches today. 100 pitches for Valdez in just 6 innings. 4 hits only. 1 earned run. 5 strikeouts and 4 walks. You know, Valdez wasn't very efficient today, but he only gave up 1 run. So he got the job done. He went the scenic route. Valdez goes the scenic route to get the win. And the Astros relief pitchers lock it down. 7th to 8th in the ninth. Bennett Sousa, Brian Abreu, and Josh Hader get it done to shut them down. Hader gets the save with 3 strikeouts. He gave up 1 hit, struck out 3 in the ninth. Very solid. Brian Wu gets the loss. He had a great game, actually. Even though he gave up a ton of hits, he was able to keep the Astros from driving in the runs. Ultimately, you know, when it mattered most, he held the line. But he gave up 9 hits total, and the Mariners as a team gave up 11. 5 strikeouts. No earned runs for him today, but he did make an error. And no walks. His numbers are not bad. Not bad at all. And he pitched 6 complete innings as well. But his team couldn't give him any run support either. It was a battle of the pitchers today, that's for sure. All right. One quick thing about tomorrow's game. I am planning to do the game tomorrow. Tomorrow's game for me is 3:10 in the morning. I've got it scheduled. I've got my live stream scheduled for 3 a.m. I'm in Japan, so I'll have to go to sleep early tonight and get my butt up early, maybe 2:30 in the morning, 2:40 at the latest. And I'll be with you for Game 4. Hopefully the Astros can win this series. We need a 3-1 series win over the Mariners. Very important to win the game tomorrow. And pitching matchup for tomorrow, Louis Castillo is going to be facing off against Colton Gordon. Colton Gordon did not have a bad outing his first time out. Let's see if he can pull it out against the Mariners tomorrow and give the Astros a chance to stay in this game. Hopefully the Astros bats wake up again tomorrow. Caesar says, Hader, love you, man. I love him too. He was good this time. Mark says, thanks for the stream. Mark, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. I appreciate all of you being here. That's it for today, really. 25 total likes. That turned out to be pretty decent. It was a struggle just to get to 20. Not too many people joining the game. But now the game is over. The Astros win 2-1. And the only thing left to say, as usual, is thank you all. See you tomorrow. And, of course, as always,